What's up, guys? It's J Games here again, and sorry about my other videos. Never mind that. My audio has been messing up since my headphones kind of need. God damn it! Kind of need what was it? They kind of need like a wire to be connected to them, or they need to have a certain amount of audio for them, and yeah. They need to have wire, or I need to have the volume up. I usually don't have the volume super high up, so my audio is to the point where you can barely hear me or you can't hear me at all. Sorry if it sounds like somebody's interfering with me talking. I'm on a very squeaky bed. Also, I have a dog, so you might hear him growl at me a few times, or you're just his collar. But so this is gonna be part 7, I believe, to what if Shanks trained Luffy. And I believe where we last left off, Nami and Usopp beat those two people that from Brokeworks. The one that could use explosions, and the other one that can kind of, I guess, increase her weight by kilograms. I don't know. Tons of grams. I don't know. Something. All right, but after that ended, Dory and Broggy are still trying to fight Luffy. And they kind of give up after Luffy breaks their weapons, and they just try to slam him with both of their swords and axes. And Luffy ends up using invisible ornament hockey and just blocks them. They don't break until Luffy kind of just uses visible ornament hockey, like his red one, and when he activates it, they kind of just shatter. And Dory will try to stop on Luffy. Dory will try to stomp on Luffy, while Broggy will kind of just try to punch him. And Luffy kind of just raises his leg, kind of like how Sanji does, to block attacks. And their attacks are just gonna be ineffective on Luffy. That's when he kind of just lowers his leg after realizing they're not that strong, and they kind of just keep hitting him while he's not even phased. Then Luffy kind of just use Conqueror's Hockey and force them to their knees. So, yeah. Alright, so now we're going to, first we're doing the Strats are leaving. Actually, no, Mr. 3 is still going to come by with that little girl that can, like, paint things. And, he's going to try to fight Luffy until Luffy kind of just will jet pistol him in the gut. And that's going to leave him unconscious, and he's going to be laying there asleep. Like, he's got murdered. But, yeah. Luffy will then, basically walk to the little girl and say, "There are sea stone handcuffs on my ship. I can either put them on you by force, or you can put them on yourself. Pick one." And she starts walking towards the ship. And Luffy will kind of just pick up the other, 3 agents and carry them. Luffy will have, let's say, he has an emergency raft, and he kind of just puts them on it with both, they're covered in, sea stone handcuffs. They're all attached. They're all, in custody of the sea stone. Luffy will kind of just kick the boat towards Alabasta. I think that's where Crocodile is. And, later, in, the Strats leave, Dory and Broggy will leave knowing that, to extent, they're kind of embarrassed that Luffy destroyed them that easily, or he was completely unfazed by them. And he also kind of destroyed their weapons, so they have nothing else to fight with, and they don't feel like using their hands, since those are bound to either be broken. They don't feel like going bare knuckle brawling. They're gonna be broken. But yeah. So Strats leave, and So the Strats leave Little Garden, and Luffy is noticing that Nami's pretty sick because she's burning up, and Luffy will kind of like scan her with observation hockey. And I'm gonna say the Straws are eating dinner right now. They're all together eating. Luffy's gonna tell Nami to meet him in the kitchen real quick. And I'm gonna say there's like just one door. And nothing else, like only that one door. I'm gonna say that Luffy will kind of examine Nami's chest and find the tick and take it off. She's gonna be kind of embarrassed, and Luffy will kind of just carry her into the medical room that he has. He did plan on finding a doctor and not being the ship's doctor, but he's the only one with medical experience. And I'm gonna say Luffy can like fight off the disease to the point where she won't die, but she does need proper medical attention because of the tick. And they still do go to Drum Island and everything, but they arrive, I'm gonna say 2 days earlier. And Wapol will try to hop on their ship and start trying to eat it. When he goes for a bite, Luffy will I'm gonna say Luffy has cannonballs next to cannons, and he's sitting next to one. He's just gonna chuck a cannonball into Wapol's mouth, and it's gonna fling Wapol back. And this was a cannonball infused with hockey, so Wapol is kind of just holding his mouth while it bleeds. He's like, the hell? I'm the great King Wapol. What do you think you're doing? Luffy will say, hey, I know what I'm doing. I just want to know what you're doing. This is my ship and you're disrespecting it. Wapol will try to explain he's a king and continue to try to eat it. That's when Luffy will just straight up I'm gonna say he uses a gum stamp gum whip and just fling Wapol off the ship onto his excuse of one compared to Luffy's. Luffy's ship looks like the one Boa Hancock and Luffy traveled on when they had to go to Impel Down. So a heavy duty marine ship. What I get a notification for? Kahoo. But Luffy ends up flinging Wapol back onto his ship, and that's when the other two guys, the one that uses afros as a weapon, and the other one that uses not static electricity, the other one that uses arrows. Just lay down under the blanket, Spike. You need to make yourself comfortable. You always do this. Right. So Wapol will send his men after Luffy. One of the afros will throw one at Luffy and it will stick, and Zoro will notice this. So next one that's thrown at Luffy, Zoro will just cut it in half using a little bit of ornament, and then he'll just jump at the guy, kind of cutting an X into his chest. So yeah. And the next guy, they end up fighting a guy with the what was it? Guy with the arrows. He's gonna try to shoot Luffy with them, and Sanji will just kick the arrows away, not even using anything. That's when he'll kind of just, I'm gonna say he uses Diable Jambe since that's the moves that they use in where was it? The ones ultimate moves they use Zoro's 9 or 6 sword style. They have those moves already. Usopp will have Kabuto. Nami will have contact already. I'll be right back. Alright, so the strats all have their ultimate moves and everything. And Luffy, I'm gonna make Luffy's awakening happen in this what if, but just not this episode. So this what if series is probably gonna go on to 15 parts, because I'm gonna fast forward through almost every arc. No, I'm not. I'm lying to you on that one. Alright, but the strats have the ultimate moves, and Sanji will use Diable Jambe and kind of just kick the guy. Use an arrow that's coming at him, and it'll kind of just melt on his leg. And Sanji will then just kick the guy in the chest and send him flying onto Wapol's ship. The guy that Zoro's just gonna pick him up and throw him onto the ship, like not using anything else but just strength. And that's when the Strats will end up at the island. And I'm gonna say Dalton is still, like, I'm gonna say he saw Wapol off and is waiting there in case he tries to come back. That's when he sees Luffy's ship. And when Dalton sees this, he gets ready to defend. And I'm gonna say Dalton has this thing where he can, because it's his devil fruit, it's an animal. And I forgot, I'm pretty sure it's a bull. I'm gonna say that Dalton can, like, pick up an ability to, like, smell malicious intent or rage. And I'm gonna say Dalton only smells confusion from the Strats. As far as get there, he's gonna be like, "What do you want with my island? And if you're just here to steal from us, leave already." Luffy will say, "We're not really here to steal. We're here for two things, actually. We're kind of just here for a doctor, and we're here to ask who the guy calling himself, like, Great King Wapol is. He's just trying to eat my ship." And Dalton's gonna be like, "Oh, you guys are just here for simple things." And Dalton will say, "Yeah, come on, just put on your warmest clothes." And I'm gonna say that Luffy, while he was palling around with, like, Whitebeard and Shanks plus Garp, he's experienced colder climates than Drum Island. So what he's walking through right now, like the snow, it's barely anything. So he just kind of just puts on he puts on his full suit, and he's like, "This is enough warmth," and starts walking. And this is where he, like, starts, like, examining the whole island for Haki. And he senses two very familiar Haki signatures. And that's when Luffy will like get a glimmer in his eye. And he says, "Did you see one black-haired guy with, like, a reddish hat? Like a reddish scarlet hat? And then some, like, a blonde kid?" I'm gonna say Sabo still does have his scar, by the way. Yeah, this is Ace and Sabo. And Sabo does have a scar on his face, and it is gonna be a burn mark. I'm gonna say that he was sparring with Ace, well, Ace got his no Mi, and Ace ended up burning his face. So he has, like, a Zuko type scar on his face. It just doesn't go to his ear. It's just kind of, like, around the original spot it was in camp. But back to the story. Luffy will say, "Did you see, like, a guy like a scarlet or bright orange hat, and another guy with him who has, like, a burn mark on his face?" And that's when Dalton will say, "Oh yeah, those two. They're very generous men. I'm pretty sure they entered our village a few hours ago. Yeah. If we get there soon enough, they might still be there." And Luffy will yell at the whole crew, "Come on, let's get going." And I'll say Zoro just picks up Vivi and they start running towards the village. And Usopp is actually very fast in this one. Like, basically his physical abilities without his devil fruit and, like, before the time skip is what Usopp's body is kind of like. Just, well, he can't like hit as hard as Luffy. He's pretty strong, just not as strong. But he's as fast as him. So yeah. They all start rushing towards the village while Luffy's carrying Nami and Zoro is carrying Vivi. And when they get to the village, I forgot what it was called, but that's when, like, when they get to the center of the village, Luffy doesn't see Sabo or Ace, and he'll just yell their names. Now the start gonna be confused. Doesn't Sabo and Ace like peek their head out of, like, a cafe or something, and they see Luffy and run to him and hug him. I would say it's been around 3 years since Luffy last saw them. Hold up, I'll check something real quick. Alright, so that's so one fact. It's been about 3 years since Ace last saw Since Luffy last saw Ace and Sabo, it's been 3 years. And Luffy does know how strong they are, and I would say since they were traveling around with like the Whitebeard crew and Shanks' crew, I'm giving Ace the Maramara Nomi, and he has a lot more skill in it. So like his base fire is blue, and I would say if he pushes himself to like his breaking point, or not his breaking point, his like if he goes like past his limits, his flames will actually turn black. And I'm giving Sabo a double fruit called the Puff Puff fruit. I've seen it a few times, but it's mainly called the Cloud fruit. And that's Sabo's double fruit, since Sabo has a double fruit in canon, and it's the Maramara Nomi. But Ace is dead, so it doesn't. So it's Sabo and Ace's double fruit. And I'll say that Sabo is a little stronger than he is in canon, because in canon he's actually about an admiral level fighter, and so is Ace. Like they're both admiral level fighters, but as they are right now, I'm gonna say they're actually probably about fleet admiral fighters. So they can take on all three admirals by themselves and win, or at least stalemate all three of them at once. Like Ace could fight Sakazuki, Aokiji, and Kizaru. Ace can fight all of those three and stalemate them or win. And it depends on how much energy he has. The same thing goes for Sabo. But I'm pretty sure his only thing that would not benefit him would be a Kainu. Sakazuki is a Kainu. If I say like Kizaru, I'm probably gonna call Aokiji Kuzan, since that's his first name, I'm pretty sure. But I'm gonna call Aokiji Kuzan. Alright, so yeah. They see Luffy and they start hugging. The Straw Hats are actually gonna be in amazement. And they're gonna be like, you know those two. And that's when Luffy will like turn around and say, oh yeah, me my two older brothers, Ace and Sabo. And that's when they'll say, we know who they are. That's Fire Fist Ace and the Sky King Sabo. People call like Sabo the Sky King, since he kind of just, well, one of his ultimate moves consists of him jumping and turning into the cloud. He'll puff into, he'll explode into clouds and join the sky. And he can like form, like if he does that, he can like force, like he can make his body manipulate some of the clouds. No, he can manipulate all the clouds within, I would say, a 10-meter radius. Like around a circle, it's 10 meters, and Ace Sabo can control all clouds that goes around in that circle. And Ace can only do this because he awakened his double fruit. And that's because he was sparring against Whitebeard for 5 hours straight. And at one point, he actually ended up making his hand explode, and he couldn't regrow it. And I would say that Whitebeard had the bright idea to pick up Sabo and just throw him into the sky. And when Sabo came down, he had a full arm. So Sabo actually jumped up as high as he could, reached the clouds, and he kind of just stayed there, since his body his body can turn into clouds. He basically turned his whole body into like a 10-meter radius of clouds, and that kind of awakened his quirk. Not quirk, goddamn. Alright. That awakened his devil fruit. And that was when that was when Sabo ended up like training with that, and he trained for another 5 hours against Whitebeard, and he actually ended up turning like he made a whole upper body of a person fight Whitebeard. And I'm gonna say Sabo was standing on the clouds and actually just using that ability against Whitebeard. While Whitebeard still won, but Sabo actually came back down and said, I think that's what people call a double fruit awakening. Whitebeard will be confused, since when a Logia double fruit awakens, the Logi Devil Fruit awakens, it mainly just turns all of its surroundings into like what the Devil Fruit is. And he gave an example, like he said, like, you know, the Admiral Kizaru, if he were to awaken his Devil Fruit, I'm pretty sure Kizaru has, I don't know. He said if Kizaru would awaken his Devil Fruit, everything around him would turn into light, and he would manipulate all of it. And I would say that Ace tried it out on like a safety raft that the ship had, and it just completely turned into clouds. That confirmed his awakening. So yeah, back to the main story. Yeah, they're gonna be like, we know who they are. That's Firefist Ace, the pirate with a bounty of 935 million, and that's Sky King Sabo, pirate with a bounty of 950 million. And I'm saying that Sabo has a bigger bounty, since in canon he does have a bigger bounty. Ace's was like 550 million, while Sabo's was 602 million. So yeah. Luffy tells them why he's there, and they see Nami on his back. They're like, oh yeah, the guy Walpole, he just left. We saw some woman with a reindeer moving to the castle and Walpole left. So just try to find them. And that's when Alton will say, oh yeah, those are actually two very skilled doctors. And Luffy will say, alright, I'm gonna go there by myself. And Sabo and Ace will look at Luffy saying, want us to come with you? We've been wanting to check out the castle. And Luffy will say, alright. Other shots will ask to come. Luffy will say, I didn't see my brothers in a few years, so if it's okay with you, I'd like to go with them just then. They're gonna be like, acceptable. And they're just gonna hang out in the village. Jeez. Gotta quit scratching me, not a cat. Alright, so I'm gonna say it takes him about, well, I say that 8, that Luffy's the faster of all the brothers. And, you know, Luffy's base speed is gear second. So, basically, the speed of sound is Luffy's normal speed. So, Luffy is almost running the speed of sound as his normal speed. And when he goes to gear second, he's almost as fast as lightning. But he is faster than sound. Yeah. Just for the sake of it, I'm going to say his Snake Man form is actually a little bit above lightning speed, but not as fast as lightning. So if we were to go gear 4th, Snake Man, he'd probably almost give up with Kizaru. So Snake Man Luffy is just about Kizaru level. Alright, back to the story. And so Luffy's the faster brother. Then there's Ace. Then there's Sabo. And everyone, like, Ace and Sabo are surprised at how fast Luffy is. They're like, yeah, I guess in 3 years you can gain an incredible amount of speed. Doesn't, like, Ace will, like, boost his flames to the point, like, so he could be, like, shot farther. And he's barely keeping up with Luffy. And Sabo will kind of just jump as high as he can and just enjoying with the clouds. And he's still, like, I'm saying at this point he just gains the lead on Luffy. Luffy will just go gear second and just fast forward himself. Like, he'll rocket himself to the castle. Say it takes him probably about 2 minutes to get to the castle. Well, Sabo's already there. Luffy just jumped as high as he can. I'm gonna say he missed, like, if he didn't have to, like, if he almost reached the summit without even using his hand, like, he almost reached the top of the mountain. Luffy just put his hand out and just climbed onto the mountain. So he jumped probably about, I'm gonna say, like 100 feet in the air using gear second, and only had to stretch his arms out probably about 10 feet and grab the mountain. So Luffy's can jump pretty high as well. after rain and Chopper will come out, and they're gonna be like, "What do you want?" And Luffy will kind of just hold Nami in his arms and say, "My crewmate's sick. I'd like you to help her." She's gonna say, "Sorry, but we refuse." Luffy will dig around in his suit, and then he's just gonna hand her, say, 5,000 berries, and says, "We'll just cover it." She's gonna say, "You aren't gonna do it no matter what, but berries make the world go round, right?" And takes the berries. And she starts to heal Nami. And I'm gonna say this can probably take about 3 days. And but it hasn't been 3 days yet. I'm gonna say this is the second day. And Chopper, Luffy, and Ace start talking. And Luffy will volunteer to take Chopper to meet the rest of his crew. And Ace and Sabo, they're a part of Whitebeard's crew since they left for 3 years to explore the world on their own. I'm gonna say they've met most of the old Roger pirates. And one thing, Luffy does know who his dad is. He's met Dragon. So yeah. Well, Ace and Sabo explored the world. They've explored most, a good half of the New World, actually. They explored, a little above half of the New World. So they've explored 59% of the New World. 59% of the New World is explored to them. So they don't know where the One Piece is. Blackbeard and Shanks do it, though. Well, Whitebeard and Shanks do. No, Whitebeard, Shanks, and some other old era pirates do know where the One Piece is. But yeah. But when Ace and Sabo got back from exploring the New World, they joined the Whitebeard pirates, and Whitebeard was actually debating giving Ace the first commander position, since I'm gonna say Whitebeard grades it on power, and he had Marco and Ace battle for it. Ace was pushed to his limit and actually uses black flames, and he actually made a move modeled after Marco and called it Dark Phoenix, which is where he turns his body into this black flames in the shape of a phoenix. And when him and Marco collide, Ace just fires off all of his flames into Marco's phoenix. And the next thing Whitebeard pirate to know, Marco's falling to the ground and his arm is burnt. Ace will fall down next to him, almost naked, since it burned his clothes. And that's when Marco will submit, and Whitebeard will announce that Ace is now the 1st Division commander. So, the 2nd Division people switch to the 1st, and the 1st Division people switch to the 2nd Division. And Sabo does know, even with his double fruit, he's not as strong as Marco at all. So I'm gonna say he's the third commander. So Ace, Marco, Sabo. That's how it works on the Whitebeard. Those are their top 3 pirates. And I'm gonna say Whitebeard right now is considered the king of the pirates. He just won't call himself that. And Ace, Marco, and Sabo are called the 3 Kingsmen. Because they actually have the abilities, they're individually, I'm gonna say, each of those 3 are actually stronger than all 3 admirals. Ace stronger than all 3 admirals, Sabo stronger than all 3 admirals, Marco stronger than all 3 admirals. So those 3 alone, they could probably take down the whole world government. Well, they could probably take down most of the world government. Alright, I'm actually gonna kind of nerf them a little bit. They're too strong. Those 3, I'm gonna say, they'll probably take on 2 admirals by themselves. Only one they can't fight would be Kizaru. Too fast. But yeah. Right, back to the story. Luffy volunteers to take Chopper to meet the Straw Hats, and he agrees since they've been talking. And when the Straw Hats meet Chopper, they're like, "Oh, how cute! A Tanuki like a Tanuki raccoon dog, whatever you want to call it." I'm gonna just say they think it's a raccoon dog, and Chopper's just gonna yell, "I'm not a raccoon dog. I'm a reindeer." And think, "Oh my god, it could talk." And Luffy will say, "Guys, meet Chopper. He's a reindeer who ate a devil fruit." Then ask what it is, and he's gonna say, "It's called the human fruit. My intelligence is probably a little bit above average human level, or my intelligence is above human level." Then be like, "Oh wow," and he'll show them what he does. Then be like, "Oh yeah, Chopper, join the crew." He's gonna refuse until Luffy will actually show him all the medical supplies that he has. And Chopper's gonna be like, "Some of this stuff can even be found in the Grand Line. You have to go to the New World." And he's gonna be like, "Alright, you guys can help me further my medical knowledge, and you'd probably make me stronger. I'll go with you." The Strats will ask what's going on. He'll say, "Nami's probably gonna be here for another day or so." But they're gonna be like, "Oh, so alright, why not?" And Vivi will like give Luffy something, and I'm gonna say it's a gift for Nami. I'm gonna say there's like, well, first off, Walpole made his own kind of metal using his devil fruit, and I'm gonna say he did this a lot earlier than in canon. So I'm gonna say that Vivi made a necklace using Walpole's metal for Nami, and that actually looks really good. So she knows it's a bracelet. Luffy runs back and gives it to Nami. Says it's from Vivi and everything. And everyone else is sleeping. Like, most of the country is asleep right now. Well, except Nami, Chopper, and Ace, Sabo. Everyone else is awake. And Walpole ends up arriving at the castle. And this time I'm gonna say there's like the doors shut because Luffy removed the birds peacefully, like put them in a tree and everything. And Luffy will end up hearing the door open. He's gonna go wake up Ace and Sabo. And at this point, like I'm gonna say that Luffy's kind of just in shorts and just probably a long sleeve shirt. He's like sleeping next to Nami. And they weren't doing anything nasty. They're kind of just they're kind of just cuddling. And this one, Luffy's around 6 foot, so he's kind of towering over Nami. Like Luffy, Ace, and Sabo have a height increase. Sabo is, I'm gonna say 6'3". Ace is 6'5". No, so Luffy's 6 foot. Sabo 6'4". Ace 6'6". So Shanks' height. And yeah. So everyone is like that. And Luffy will jump up and put on a different shirt. I'm gonna say because he feels uncomfortable in a long sleeve shirt. He's gonna put on like a tank top. I say, I'm gonna say he puts on a tank top, and he wakes up Ace and Sabo. And Ace is like kind of like dozing off. He's almost asleep, but he saw enough to know that Luffy got up out of the same bed as Nami. So he kind of shakes Ace, and Ace wakes up a little more. Then he wakes up Sabo. They're all kind of like in pajamas. Sabo's like wearing the pajama things Saitama does, and Ace is just straight up in his underwear. I want to say that Ace has never been cold since he got his devil fruit. He's automatically a few hundred degrees Fahrenheit. And he kind of just Ace will like put on some pants and a shirt. And they'll go downstairs, and Waffle sees them and is like, "Hey, what the hell are you guys doing in my castle?" And Luffy will say, "Considering how you've been treating this kingdom, I dare to say that this whole kingdom considers you public enemy number one." And that's when the guys with like the afro and the arrows will say, "Your guys aren't here to protect you now." Luffy will say, "Well, yeah, they're not, but I do have two people stronger than them." And the guy with the afros will like shoot them at Ace. Like they make contact with Ace's like shirt or something. No, they won't. Ace is still in underwear. Screw that. The moment they make, I'll be right back. All right. So last left off. Since I paused it for like 1 second for you, it's like 10 minutes for me. I'm pretty sure we last left off. Wapole, some men came into the castle, started questioning why Luffy was there. And the guy with the afros will actually try to like throw them at Luffy. You know, he's trying to throw them at Ace since he thinks Ace and Sabo are weaker than his last guys. But the moment Sabo's in his underwear, I want to say that. No, Ace is in underwear. He's not really cold. When they make contact with Ace's skin, they kind of just go up in flames and disintegrate within the span of 5 seconds. And Ace thinks like, what the hell? What gives? And so he like jumps down and kind of just like puts a finger on the guy's chest. And this is too fast for the guy to even see. And the guy realizes Ace's finger on his chest. He's already like, to one of Ace's moves, he can touch people, like he can just tap them and they can just start burning alive inside out. And he can like the guy will like look like the guy had his breath and he could see it's not like kind of just like frost, it's ash. And he kind of just falls to the ground, and Wapole can see the guy's mouth is kind of like producing flames. Voice track, the guy's mouth is producing flames. And it's just like the guy's eyes are gone, everything. Ace will snap and the flames are gone, but the guy's still dead. That's when the guy with the arrows like try to shoot at Sabo. He's not using hockey or anything. They're kind of just going straight through Sabo. And Sabo will like walk up to the guy, and Sabo has a move where he kind of just like makes his arm explode for like a second, and all the cloud everywhere will like regather, but like they'll like puff up and regather, kind of like making it's like Sabo's gear third. Just big fist, it's a gear third. And he's trying to just kind of flatten the guy. That kills that guy. And Wapole will like go to his tall form, but keep in mind, Luffy threw a cannonball at Wapole earlier. And a few days ago, and Wapole did eat it, and it was infused with a little bit of Luffy's hockey. Wapole will remember that it had a weird feeling, and he thought it was special, so he didn't like use it or anything. And Luffy will kind of just start wailing on Wapole, and Wapole will kick Luffy, and it's not gonna have any effect, but he's gonna shoot a cannonball at Luffy. Luffy's gonna like put both of his hands out, and it'll explode. Ace will like that doesn't really have an effect on him, and the smoke will clear, and Ace sees Luffy's hands are burnt very badly. So Ace like gathered all the smoke and everything like, off of Luffy's hands, and he realizes Cannonball had a lot of hockey in it. And Wapole will like go on to explain his devil fruit, and we'll tell him what Luffy did. Ace is gonna think Luffy probably accidentally put quite a bit of hockey into that cannonball. And Sabo's gonna be kind of mad that happened to his brother. And so will Ace. And Ace's fists will like just light up in a lot. Like I'm gonna say this is black flames. Sabo's arm will turn into like. If you've seen The Legend of Korra, like you know how like the metal benders will use like the metal bending police will use like their ropes. They kind of use it like that. And they essentially like Sabo will like use his arms kind of like how they use their ropes. And Sabo has a thing that he calls like solid clouds, and it'll like wrap around the guy like the rope will his arms will wrap around the guy, and they kind of just harden right there. And he's kind of like just touches the air, and the air, not the air, the cloud. Like Ace touches the cloud that Sabo produced, and it just turns black. Like I'll be like, oh, I don't feel anything. And Sabo will kind of just like karate chop where it hit the where the cloud begins, and it'll just snap off. And his arm will regrow. And the part of the cloud that isn't on the guy will wrap around him. And both like Ace and Sabo will snap, and the whole like the guy will be encased in like a black dome. You could just hear flames rushing in it. And the smoke will clear. There's nothing but like I'm gonna say half a skull and a spinal cord. Half a skull and a spinal cord. And a little dust. Ashes. Whatever you want to call it. And Dr. and Chopper would have been looking at this and they're like, those two are monsters. And Luffy's gonna be like in that pose that he was when he held both of his hands out. Because this is some of the most excruciating pain Luffy's ever felt. Because, you know, Luffy's hockey is pretty powerful. And being hit by a cannonball stacked with Luffy's hockey is gonna be painful. I'll say Luffy will be like, I feel like I just got punched by my grandpa ×2. And Dr. will wrap up Luffy's hands and say, luckily your brother did extract all the flames and smoke from hurting your hands farther. So I give this healing process probably about a week. Luffy's gonna be like, God damn it, we need to get to Alabasta. And Ace will say, no way, we're going there too. And he's gonna explain what Blackbeard did. And he'll kind of just like not realize that he's putting like force into his feet, and everyone will be like, Luffy. And he's gonna be like, what? And they're gonna point at the ground. Luffy's like just amount of rage and pressure he was putting on the floor with his feet was kind of like just crushing it. And he sees from where he is, like he's at the back of the room, and probably like to the exit. There's cracks all over the floor. Everyone's gonna get out of the room, and the moment they close the door, they hear crumbling. Like the whole floor is crumbled the moment they left. And he's gonna say, if I ever see Blackbeard, he's dead. And they're gonna be like, we have to agree. And at this point, Blackbeard is actually stronger than he was in canon, since he knew he had to train extra, because I'm pretty sure you get a guess that Ace, Luffy, and Sabo will hunt him to the ends of the earth if they know what he did. So he's actually trained in his double fruit a lot more, and it's twice as powerful. Twice as powerful as before. So he can actually absorb damage, at twice the speed, and he has a new move where let's say he can turn his whole body into like, you know, if you've seen One Piece Stampede, if you haven't, this is a spoiler. You can skip like 30 seconds, and if you've seen One Piece Stampede, Bullet turns into like that giant kaiju form, like that giant god. Blackbeard has a form where you can just do that basically, but it's made of darkness and it absorbs everything, and Devil Fruits won't work on it. So that's for like 10 seconds, 15, 20, 10, 20 seconds. But yeah, that's what Whitebeard's ultimate move is, and yeah. So I'm gonna say at this point, like I'm gonna say the way the Ace and Sabo got there without like having to get in any fights, actually traveled by sky because of Sabo. Sabo picked up Ace, jumped in the sky, and they're kind of just traveling like that. And they have in the Skypea just because Sabo basically lives in the sky by himself. He doesn't stay on the ship or anything. He just lives in the sky. He lives in the clouds. So yeah. And I'm just at this point, Sabo is just gonna stay in the Straw Hat ship since he can't put it in the sky. Or at least he can, he just doesn't want to. And Chopper is with them. And they do know what rumble balls are. He's used a few of them. But let's say that they actually stay on the island one more day so Luffy can actually train Chopper in hockey. This time Chopper has 3 teachers. Well, you know, he has the whole Straw Hat crew plus Ace and Sabo in hockey training. So he gets sweated the whole day, and by the end of it, he actually barely knew any observation by the end of the day, but he did know quite a bit of armament. So he could muster up like the iron body or steel body move that CP9 used. He doesn't know how to do that now, but he can use like very little observation. You can do it to the point where you can dodge a few punches and kicks, but if he does try to use observation to dodge those, they're bound to leave a few scratches on him, or at least they're gonna graze him. You can't dodge bullets or anything. If you just try to dodge a bullet, it's most likely probably gonna they're probably gonna graze him as well, but it's gonna be very painful. Alright, so I have to leave after one day of hockey training with Chopper. And they don't need to gather any food or supplies since they mix theirs with Ace's and Sabo's. So they actually have a lot of food and water. And they don't have their unique outfits. I'm gonna say that they all are wearing masks around their face. The normal clothes they had in canon, they're gonna use shorter version clothes and kind of wrap them around their nose and mouth, their whole head, so they don't get recognized. But they're gonna wear they're each gonna have a barrel of a tiny barrel of food on their back. They're gonna have a barrel of food on their back, and they're also gonna have a cup of water in front of them. They're gonna have a necklace of water and a barrel of food on their back. That's for each of them. It's gonna vary depending on how much they eat. And Luffy and Ace know how to ration their food in this one, so I have a normal barrel size of food on their back. So does Zoro and Chopper. And at this point they go into the city, and Smoker sees someone wearing a straw hat. Or again, let's say when he tried to fight Luffy in Dogtown, actually his first strike, he tried to land on Luffy. Actually left a graze, a crease on the straw hat, kind of a scratch in it. Luffy didn't pay any mind. He thought of it as a battle scar for the straw hat. Since he didn't notice any, he kind of liked it. So yeah. And he doesn't notice that the guy walking with the straw hat, Smoker knows it's a straw hat because it's a straw coming off the guy's head. Straw hat. He notices that the guy is built like Luffy, as tall as Luffy and was wearing the same pants that Luffy was when he fought him. They're just clean. And he's like, that graze, that physical build, those pants, those sandals, that Straw Hat Luffy, that's his crew. And Tashigi already knew this because she could see a little bit of Zoro's hair. She's like, Roro Noah Zoro. And Tashigi's one goal in life is like, she's like, screw being a Marine, screw Smoker. I want to fight Zoro, and I need to be worthy of his 3-sword style. Because last time Zoro only used 1 sword on her. And I'm saying at this point, since Zoro and Tashigi have been training, Zoro can probably still beat her with 1 sword. And Smoker will ask Tashigi what they should do. Tashigi's gonna be smart and say, alright, call in reinforcements. Call in Miss Hana. And back to Hana's, we're gonna go to Hana's crew. It doesn't necessarily have like full body and Django. I don't call him Django. I don't want to call him Django. He's not a black cowboy slave. So Django. I'll say at this point they've been training a lot harder since they gave in so easily to Straw Hat Luffy. And full body, as well as his title was captain. Sorry about that. You can't ignore your mom's calls. Right. So back to like full body and Django. So Django and full body have trained to the point where they're like, if we ever see Straw Hat again, we're gonna body him on sight. And full body is a guy with like the brass knuckles, like the metal around his hands, like the 3 wires of metal, all they're wrapped around his hands. And I actually learned how to like use hockey. So at this point, I'm gonna say he's almost Vice Admiral level. And Django is Captain level. He doesn't fall asleep using his own hypnosis. He like dozes off, but he doesn't fall asleep. It has a slight effect on him, just not a big one. Also, he's more like precise of where he throws it. And I want to point out one thing: the gun in this picture, picture that as like a sword. And he does have like a hunting rifle on his back that he does use. So Luffy kind of has it's a sword and a rifle. So yeah. Okay, back to the story. So Smoker asked Tashigi what they should do about the Straw Hats, and Tashigi will say, "I'm gonna call Miss Hana for reinforcements, while you can kind of just track them, and when I finish calling for reinforcements, I'll find you." And Smoker will say, "Alright, but should we fight them without our reinforcements?" She's gonna be like, "Yes, we both moved up ranks." And Smoker is, I'm saying he's probably, if you were to, I'm gonna say, bring in a crew probably about, bring in like buggy pirates. If you were to do that, he'd probably be promoted to, like, he's a rear admiral right now. If you were to bring in the buggy pirates, he'd be a vice admiral. So yeah, he's like 1 buggy crew away from being a vice admiral. Toshigi, I think I'm just gonna call her, I'm gonna say she's actually a rear admiral as well. Like, the Marines that on the crew that don't know what she thinks, they think she's like a captain or something. She's a rear admiral as well. And I'm gonna say Smoker like stalks the Straw Hats for about 10 minutes. And Luffy, like the whole Straw Hat crew notices Smoker. Even Chopper. Chopper smelled him. Chopper notices like his observation hockey. But the whole Straw Hats know Smoker's watching them. And Toshigi will come back and say, the reinforcements were called, and I think we should. And Toshigi says we should try to go for their main forces. Smoker will point out two of them and say those two are new. They might be the weaker links. He also points out Chopper and says they're pet. They might have a weak spot for that. And Chopper heard this. He buffs up and yells, "I'm not a damn pet. You will respect me." And Toshigi and Smoker be like, they knew we're here. And Luffy will kind of just like jump up to them and say, "What do you guys want?" As his like whole mask thing came off. Whole Shark crew removes theirs, and they're gonna be in shock when they see Ace and Sabo, and they're gonna be like, "The hell's that? The hell is that right there? Those two things. That one right there. Those two." And Luffy will say, "Oh yeah, I guess Jay-Sensei didn't know us three were brothers." And the Marines do know like Ace, Sabo, and Luffy are associated with each other. They think they're like teammates, or they used to be teammates until until Luffy left for his own crew. They didn't know they were brothers. They'd be like Smoker and Toshigi are gonna be like, "Oh no." And that's when like Ace and Sabo jump up and out of fire at Toshigi and Smoker. And Luffy will say, "Don't bother. Me and Zoro will handle this." And Zoro doesn't see Toshigi. He does like see her sword hilt, but thinks it's someone else. Because he's like, "I devastated her last time. If she wants to fight me again, she must be stupid." And Zoro will like jump up to the roof and say, "Damn it, you are stupid enough to fight me again." And Luffy's hands, they still hurt. It's been like, I'm gonna say 4 days. They don't need like giant casts. Like I'm gonna say Luffy had like a cast on that's like for a broken arm. Luffy has like, besides that, he just has like bandages on his arm, like a strap on his arms, and he'll coat his arm in like ornament hockey. Actually no, he's gonna coat his whole body in ornament hockey. He's gonna say iron body and just get into a fighting stance. Like iron body is invisible ornament. It's also not as strong. And Smoker's gonna be like, that's a Vice Admiral technique. And he'll rush at Luffy with his jute. And this time it's infused, like Smoker actually does know hockey. And he does know Luffy's using a Vice Admiral technique. And Smoker will be like, using a Vice Admiral technique, it's too weak. Smoker will coat his jute in like regular hockey, regular black hockey. Try to hit Luffy's iron body with it. But Luffy trained his iron body to basically be like normal black armament. So all of his hockey stages got a boost. Iron body is like black hockey, so invisible hockey is like black hockey. His black hockey is like red hockey. Red hockey has the same effect as advanced hockey. Basically nothing can pass Luffy's advanced hockey. So yeah, Luffy's advanced hockey, basically nothing's getting past that. And the only person he's seen get past that is like Whitebeard, Shanks, and Garp. So those three trained him to fight. He hasn't even seen Ace or Sabo get past it. Not even Marco. Like, he's seen them like crack it, and that's it. It was like one crack, nothing else. And he knows Smoker can't even scratch it or dent it. I don't know why I said dent, but if you like use his iron body and start defending against Smoker. And I've trained my life away. My bet is you can sense how much hockey is in someone. Try it on me. And Jay-Sensei actually bears probably above the average level of alignment and observation. He's gonna pull out that one sword, the one who beat her with. like with her sword. He's just gonna use 2 fingers and catch it.